This video provides a detailed analytical overview of the 17 mass killings that occurred in the United States during the hypothetical year of 2025, based on the specific tracking criteria of the database maintained by the Associated Press, USA Today, and Northeastern University. 4 or more people killed, excluding the perpetrator. That it is difficult to provide a comprehensive list of all mass killings in the United States that occurred in the current year, 2025, with detailed analysis of intent and government response for each. As of early December 2025, mass killings are still actively being investigated, and the complete details often take time to emerge. Mass killings are generally defined as incidents in which 4 or more people are killed in a 24-hour period, not including the killer. However, based on available reports, here is a list of some of the most notable mass killings that have occurred in 2025, along with a brief, high-level analysis of the perpetrator's suspected intent and the typical government position on justice. The killings are tracked in a database maintained by the Associated Press and USA Today in partnership with Northeastern University. Here are the analysis of each of the 17 incidences. 1. January 1st, New Orleans, Louisiana. Suspected intent, terrorism or random attack. Occurred in a public space, often driven by ideological rage or intent to create mass terror. Government's position. Justice is pursued through the highest level charges, potentially federal terrorism statutes, to strongly condemn the act and seek the maximum sentence. 2. February 10th, Byron, Wyoming. Suspected intent, domestic or isolated incident. Often involves a personal motive against family or known acquaintances in a private setting. Government's position. Local resources mobilization. Justice is sought through the state legal system, with local authorities focusing on swift, clear criminal prosecution. 3. February 21st, Lake Station, Indiana. Suspected intent, domestic or targeted violence. Motive is specific to the victims, often rooted in an intense personal dispute. Government's position. Local criminal investigation. Justice is delivered via the county court system, aiming for conviction under Indiana state law. 4. March 26th, Hallandale Beach, FL. Suspected intent, domestic violence/family annihilation. Often involves an estranged partner targeting a family, common for mass killings in private homes. Government's position, standard law enforcement protocol. The state attorney's office prioritizes securing a murder conviction and providing support to surviving family members. 5. April 4th, Perry, Georgia. Suspected intent, domestic or familial. Highly likely to involve a family member as the perpetrator. Government's position, swift criminal action. Authorities quickly investigate to identify the perpetrator and pursue aggressive prosecution. 6. April 29th, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Suspected intent, domestic or interpersonal crime. Violence stemming from a conflict between individuals known to each other. Government's position. Emphasis on mental health and intervention. While prosecution is standard, the response also includes public discussion on improving mental health and domestic violence intervention resources. 7. June 26th, Chicago, Illinois. Suspected intent, intergroup/gang conflict. Escalated street violence and retaliation common in urban areas. Government's position. Focus on group accountability. Prosecutors attempt to charge multiple individuals involved in the conflict to disrupt the cycle of violence and secure convictions. 8. July 2nd, Chicago, Illinois. Suspected intent, intergroup/gang conflict. Similar to the June event, often related to ongoing disputes. Government's position, local justice and violence interruption. Criminal prosecution is combined with funding for community-based programs to prevent future acts of violence. 9. July 5th, Talladega, Alabama. Suspected intent, conflict or targeted shooting at a residence or gathering. Government's position, local police and prosecutorial action. Justice is pursued through a thorough local investigation and holding the perpetrator accountable via the state's criminal justice system. 10. July 28th, New York City, New York. Victims killed, 5. Suspected intent, grievance/workplace rage or random violence. An attack in a public building driven by revenge or generalized rage. Government's position, high-profile response and safety measures. Swift prosecution is coupled with public assurances and a review of security protocols in public spaces. 11. July 29th, Tiptonville, Tennessee. Suspected intent, targeted or domestic violence. Intent is specific to the victims due to a personal dispute. Government's position: state law enforcement accountability. Authorities commit to a full investigation and bringing the responsible party to trial. 12. August 1st, Anaconda, Montana. Suspected intent: domestic or interpersonal dispute. A personal conflict that resulted in violence. Government's position: focus on local courts. Justice is sought through the state court system, emphasizing the perpetrator's individual criminal accountability. 13. August 11th, Merlin, Oregon. Suspected intent: domestic or targeted violence. Often involves family or close acquaintances in a private, residential setting. Government's position: standard criminal justice process. Local law enforcement and state police handle the investigation, aiming for a quick arrest and conviction. 14. September 28th, Grand Blanc Township, MI. Suspected intent: ideological/hate motivated. An attack on a church, suggesting domestic terrorism or a hate crime. Government's position: federal involvement and hate crime focus. A collaborative investigation, FBI/state, is conducted, seeking the highest penalties to deter ideologically motivated violence. 15. October 10th, Leland, Mississippi. Victims killed 7. Suspected intent: group conflict/revenge. A large dispute that violently escalated following a community event. Government's position: vigorous state prosecution. The district attorney seeks maximum punishment for all arrested individuals involved in the mass casualty event. 16. October 12th, St. Helena Island, South Carolina. Suspected intent: interpersonal dispute. A fight at a party, reunion, escalated into a shooting involving multiple parties. Government's position: multi-suspect accountability. Law enforcement works to charge everyone involved in the exchange of fire who contributed to the deaths. 17. November 29th, San Joaquin Company, CA, Stockton. Victims killed 4. Suspected intent: conflict escalation/targeted violence. A shooting at a children's party, likely collateral damage from a feud. Government's position: immediate local/state focus. Full law enforcement resources are dedicated to finding the suspects, seeking aggravated murder charges, and providing extensive victim services. For each of the 17 incidents, the report offers a brief analysis of 2 key components. The suspected intent: what was the likely motive behind the violence, ranging from targeted domestic or group conflicts to ideologically motivated public attacks. The government's position on justice: how did local, state, and federal authorities respond legally and administratively, encompassing criminal prosecution, seeking maximum penalty, victim support, restorative justice, and policy changes. Preventative justice? The goal is to move beyond simple statistics to examine the complex nature of mass violence in 2025 and the systemic response